The stars stretched endlessly across the dark sky, cold and silent, yet full of distant light. Among those stars, the human ship Endeavour moved carefully, its engines humming quietly as it navigated a region few humans had ever crossed. Captain Aaron sat in the command chair, his eyes scanning the main view screen. The galaxy was vast, and out here, even small mistakes could be fatal. "Sensors are picking up a signal," said Laura, the ship's communications officer. She tapped at the console quickly, her brow furrowed. "It's unusual. It doesn't match anything in our database." Aaron leaned forward. "Show me." The screen flickered, and a strange, jagged pulse appeared. It moved with precision, almost like a living heartbeat. Aaron frowned. "This is far out in Corthan space. If that is what I think it is, we are not supposed to be here." Peter, the ship's engineer, looked over from his station. "Supposed to be here or not, it's sending a clear distress signal. Someone is asking for help." Aaron's jaw tightened. He had trained for situations like this, but nothing truly prepared a person for standing at the edge of the unknown. "We don't know who they are. It could be a trap." Dana, the youngest of the crew, spoke softly but firmly, "or it could be someone who really needs help." "We don't ignore a call for help," Aaron nodded slowly. "Prepare a message. Keep it peaceful. We don't want to make trouble if they are hostile." Laura typed quickly, her fingers moving like they had a life of their own. The message was simple. "We are explorers from Earth. We received your distress signal. Are you in need of assistance?" The pulse on the screen paused, almost as if it were listening. Then it began moving again, faster this time. The ship trembled lightly as a distant wave of energy passed through the sensors. "What is that?" Peter asked, leaning closer to the readings. "It's them," Aaron said quietly. "They are powerful. Far more than we imagined. Stay alert." At that moment, far across the void, the Corthan Dominion noticed the human signal. Corthans were a species known across the galaxy as the strongest Deathworlders. They were tall, thickly armored, and bred to survive the deadliest planets. Their bodies were hard, their minds trained for battle, and they had conquered more worlds than any other known species. Commander Larek was aboard the Corthan cruiser Vexor, overseeing patrols near the edge of their territory. His eyes narrowed as the human signal appeared on his sensors. "Report," he demanded. His voice was calm but sharp, echoing across the command bridge. Lieutenant Kyle, his second, tapped the console. "It is a small ship, sir. Life signs are weak, but it is moving steadily through the boundary. There is a strange energy reading." Laura considered this. Humans were not supposed to survive out here. Most species would break under the hazards of this region. And yet, here they were. "Prepare scouts," he ordered. "I want a full assessment before we make contact. They could be dangerous or foolish. Either way, we will know soon." The scouts moved silently, sleek ships gliding through the dark. They found the human vessel quickly. Its engines small but resilient. Larek studied it from a distance. It was weak by Corthan standards. They had faced creatures that could crush mountains and ships that could survive a supernova. This tiny human ship seemed fragile, almost laughable. Larek ordered them to approach. "Do not fire. I want to see what they are made of. They may be weak, but all Deathworlders have their ways." Back on the Endeavour, the crew noticed the approaching ships. "Captain, they are closing in fast," Dana said. Her hand shook slightly as she watched the view screen. The ships were large, their designs jagged and sharp, like armor built for war. Aaron stayed calm. "Keep the shields up. Maintain communication. Let's show them we mean no harm." The Corthan scouts arrived alongside the human ship, moving with silent precision. Lorek's image appeared on the communications screen. His voice was deep, resonant, and commanding. "Humans, identify yourselves." "Why are you in Corthan space?" Aaron stood, his posture straight. "I am Captain Aaron of the Earth Exploration Corps. We received a distress signal and came to investigate. We mean no harm." There was silence on the other side. Lorek's many eyes blinked, studying Aaron. "Studying the humans. Your species is weak. Most would not survive here. Why are you alive?" Laura stepped forward, her voice calm. "We are adaptable. We survive by working together. That is what makes us strong. The Korthans paused, adaptable. Humans, weak, yet somehow strong. Lorik felt a strange tension. They had never faced a species that survived not through raw power alone, but through persistence, creativity, and cooperation. A sudden energy wave passed near both ships, a storm of cosmic radiation that could have destroyed lesser vessels. The human ship rocked violently, but its engines held. Peter worked quickly, adjusting shields and rerouting power to stabilize the vessel. "You're stronger than you look," Lorik muttered to himself. He had seen countless species fall under far less pressure, and yet these humans endured. The storm passed, leaving both sides unscathed but alert. Aaron took a deep breath. "We are here to help, not fight. Can we communicate further? Perhaps work together?" Lorik studied him for a long moment. His commanders whispered among themselves. Could these humans really be what they seemed? Could strength exist in ways they did not yet understand? "Show me," Lorik finally said. "Show me your strength, human." Aaron nodded. "We will, but not with weapons, with actions." Laura smiled faintly. "That is our way. Survival, not destruction." Lorik considered this. A small human ship, barely able to withstand the storm, yet it moved with confidence, with calm, with teamwork. It was unlike anything the Korthans had ever faced. The human crew worked efficiently to repair minor damage from the storm, unaware of the intense scrutiny they were under. Dana checked the life support systems while Peter adjusted the shields. Laura maintained a steady stream of communication with the Korthans, explaining every move in simple terms. Aaron watched Lorik carefully. "We are explorers," he said. "We seek to understand, to help when we can. You are strong, and so are we, but in different ways." Lorik nodded slowly. "Perhaps time will tell. You may survive this encounter, human, but it will change you as well." The human crew exchanged puzzled looks. They did not yet understand how true Lorik's words would become. The Korthan scouts withdrew, slightly, giving the humans space. The storm had ended, but the tension remained. Both sides studied each other, curious and cautious. Aaron knew this was just the beginning. Humanity had ventured far, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Outside, the stars continued to shine, cold and silent, indifferent to the struggles of two species meeting for the first time. Yet in that darkness, a spark had begun, a spark of understanding, of challenge, of a future neither humans nor Korthans could yet imagine. Aaron turned to his crew. "Prepare for long-range scans. Keep all systems ready. This encounter is only the first step. We need to learn, and we need to survive." Laura nodded, scanning now. "I'm picking up strange energy signatures. Something else is coming." Peter's eyes widened. "The readings are strong. We've never seen this before." Aaron leaned back, thinking. Humanity had always faced danger on harsh worlds. Every planet, every mission had tested them. And yet, somehow, they had survived. Perhaps this was another test, a larger one. In a galaxy far more dangerous than anything they had known, Lorik watched silently, considering the humans again. They were small, fragile in appearance, but they did not fear him. They acted with confidence, and their courage was unusual. In the Korthan Dominion, strength was measured in power, in domination, in crushing all opposition. But these humans, they were different. Perhaps there was another kind of strength in the universe, one the Korthans had never fully understood. The human crew continued their work, unaware of the thoughts racing through the Korthan. "Commander," Aaron looked at his team, proud of their calm and steady work. They were explorers, survivors, and now, unexpectedly, diplomats in a galaxy full of danger. Above them, the stars kept shining. Somewhere out there, the galaxy waited, vast and endless. And on the horizon, the Korthans watched, curious, uncertain, and perhaps for the first time, challenged by a species they had expected to dominate. The journey of humans and Korthans had begun. It would not be easy, it would not be peaceful, but it would change them all forever. The stars were calm now, but the tension in the void remained. The human ship Endeavor drifted cautiously through the region, its crew fully aware that the Korthans were watching. Captain Aaron walked along the narrow corridor, checking on his team. "Everything ready for the next scan?" he asked Laura, who was sitting at the communications console. Laura nodded. "Yes, sir. I've adjusted the sensors to detect any unusual energy signatures. The Corthans are keeping their distance, but I can feel them observing us." Peter was in engineering, working on reinforcing the shields. "These readings are strange," he said. "The energy waves from the storm left some residual fluctuations. I can stabilize them, but it will take careful timing." Dana, who was monitoring the outer hull, looked out at the approaching Corthan scouts. "They aren't attacking, but I don't trust them. They are too quiet." Aaron placed a hand on the railing. "Quiet can be dangerous. Keep your stations active. We cannot underestimate them. Humans have survived harsh worlds before, but this is different." As they spoke, one of the Corthan scouts suddenly altered its course and moved closer to the Endeavor. A beam of scanning energy shot toward the human ship. It did not strike with violence, but it lit up the hull like a white-hot sun. "Report." Aaron barked. Laura's fingers flew over the controls. "It's a detailed scan. They are reading our systems, our structure, maybe even our life signs. It's thorough, but not hostile yet." Peter frowned. "They could disable us in an instant if they wanted. Their power is incredible compared to ours. We need to show them that we are capable, that we are not a mistake to be ignored." Aaron considered this. "We survive by working together. That's our strength. Let's use it." The human crew quickly coordinated, reinforcing shields, redistributing energy, and adjusting power outputs in real time. Their actions were careful, precise, and almost instinctive. The Corthan scans continued, their pulse like a question, probing and testing. On the Corthan side, Larek observed the human activity. "Interesting," he muttered. "They are not panicking. They are acting with intent, with coordination. Most species would crumble under this pressure." Lieutenant Call frowned. "Sir, they are just lucky. The region is harsh, but luck alone cannot save them." Larek shook his head. "Luck has nothing to do with it. Observe closely. This is more than survival instinct. They adapt. They respond. There is a method in their actions, and it is unfamiliar." Suddenly, the residual energy from the storm flared. A violent pulse moved through the sector, hitting both the human ship and the Corthan scout. Sparks flew across the bridge of the Endeavor, alarms ringing loudly, shields at 40%. Peter shouted, frantically rerouting power. "The hull is holding, but barely." Dana gripped her console. "We need to stabilize the outer systems before this gets worse." Aaron stayed calm, his voice steady. "Everyone focus. We work as one. That is how we survive." Laura, redirect the sensors to detect weak points in the hull. Peter, reinforce shields where needed. Dana, monitor structural integrity. Move quickly. The crew worked together, communicating constantly. Every adjustment, every decision was coordinated. The human ship shuddered violently as another pulse hit, but the crew's teamwork kept it from breaking apart. Larek watched, fascinated. "They are not strong like us," he said quietly, "but they endure. They act as a single unit, anticipating danger before it strikes." The Corthan scouts hovered closer, their systems running at full power, observing, recording, testing. One scout fired a non-lethal probe toward the human ship. It struck the hull and caused a minor breach, but before it could worsen, Peter activated an emergency patch, sealing the breach almost instantly. They recover fast. Larek said to himself, "Most species would collapse under this pressure. These humans, they are remarkable." The storm of energy waves continued, unpredictable and violent. Laura monitored the signals, her fingers flying over controls. "Captain, we are detecting another wave coming in from the north. It will hit in 30 seconds. We need to brace for impact." Aaron nodded. "All stations, prepare for maximum stress. This is a test, and we will pass it. Trust in your training. Trust in each other." The pulse hit, stronger than the previous ones. The human ship rocked violently. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and a section of the hull groaned under pressure. But Peter had anticipated it. Shields diverted power automatically, while Dana and Laura monitored and adjusted in real time. Aaron gritted his teeth. Hold steady. Focus on the task. Slowly, the human ship stabilized. They had survived the storm, not through brute strength, but through adaptability, coordination, and calm action. The Corthan scouts watched silently, recording everything, trying to understand what they had just witnessed. Lorek's eyes narrowed. This is not weakness. It is something else entirely, strength. But in a form I did not know existed. The storm passed. Silence returned to the void. Both sides floated in the calm, tension thick but unspoken. Aaron breathed deeply, proud of his crew. They had faced extreme danger and endured. Laura looked at him, her face tired but resolute. Captain, they are still watching. I think they want to understand us, not attack us. Aaron nodded. Then we show them who we are, without fighting. Let them see our way of strength. Suddenly, one of the Corthan scouts transmitted a message. It was short and formal. Human crew, prepare for boarding. You will demonstrate your capabilities. Aaron frowned. Prepare for boarding? That could be dangerous. They might want to test us physically. Dana shook her head. We survived the storm. We can handle this, together. Aaron turned to his team. Listen carefully. This is a test of our skills, not a battle of weapons. We show them how we work, how we survive. That is our strength. When the Corthan boarding team arrived, the humans were ready. Shields were active, sensors alert, and emergency protocols in place. The Corthans moved with precision, but the humans adapted quickly, redirecting energy, sealing access points, and anticipating movement. The Corthans expected fear, hesitation, and chaos. Instead, they found humans acting calmly, methodically, and efficiently. Laura guided them through complex maneuvers. Peter adjusted systems on the fly, and Dana moved with confidence through tight spaces, monitoring structural integrity. Lorek observed from his cruiser. They are not fighting like predators. They are cooperating, adapting, surviving. This is different. I must see more. The boarding exercise ended without conflict. Both sides had learned from it. Humans had survived an encounter that could have destroyed them, and the Corthans had seen something new, a species that could endure, not through sheer power, but through intelligence, coordination, and courage. Aaron addressed the Corthan leader. You see what we are capable of, not in weapons, but in how we work together, how we survive. That is the strength of humanity. Lorek's many eyes studied him. Impressive, unexpected. You do not fight like the weak. You survive like the clever. Perhaps there is more to your species than I believed. The human crew returned to their ship, tired but proud. Aaron looked at each of them. This was only the beginning. We have shown them that we are not to be underestimated, and that may be enough to make them reconsider their own assumptions. Laura smiled faintly. They will remember this. Humans always endure, Peter added, and we did it without harming them. That is our way. Dana looked out at the stars. They are watching us. I think they are curious now, not just about what we can do, but why we do it. Aaron nodded. Exactly. And that curiosity will be more powerful than any weapon. Remember this, survival is not just about strength. It is about adaptability, cooperation, and courage. That is what makes humans formidable, even among Deathworlders. Lorek's voice came through the comms one last time before he withdrew his scouts. This encounter has changed my perception. Continue to prove yourselves, humans. We will be watching, as the humans prepared to continue their journey. A new sense of purpose filled the ship. They had survived a storm that could have destroyed them, faced the strongest Deathworld species, and earned a measure of respect. The galaxy was vast and dangerous, but they were not afraid. The stars stretched endlessly ahead. The void was silent, yet alive with possibility. Humanity had proven something fundamental. Even small and fragile species could endure the greatest dangers, not by crushing everything in their path, but by working together, adapting, and standing firm in the face of fear. And somewhere, across the dark reaches of space, the Corthans began to reconsider everything they had believed about strength, power, and survival. The journey of humans and Corthans had entered a new stage, one of understanding, curiosity, and mutual respect. And neither species would ever be the same again. The calm of space did not last long. As the human ship Endeavour moved further into the unknown sector, a new danger appeared. Sensors picked up multiple fast-moving ships approaching at high speed. The readings were strange and aggressive. Laura's fingers flew across the controls. "Captain, we have incoming vessels. They are heavily armed and moving fast. Life signs are strong, but they're hostile." Aaron stood, his face serious. "Everyone, stations, shields up, weapons ready, and brace for impact. This is not just another encounter. They want to destroy us." Peter quickly rerouted power to the shields. Sparks flew across the console as energy surged through the systems. Dana monitored the hull for weak points. "The outer hull is strong, but they are closing in fast. We need to act now." Aaron took a deep breath. Laura tried to communicate. "Maybe they can be reasoned with." Laura shook her head. "I've tried, sir. They are not responding. They only want to attack." From the Corthan side, Lorik observed the approaching ships. His expression darkened. "Girl ships," he said quietly. "A predatory species, fast and violent. They have no reason to fear humans or Corthans, yet they move like predators toward prey." Lieutenant Call frowned. "Sir, they could destroy the humans in seconds. We should stay back." Lorik shook his head. "No, this is a test. Humanity has shown resilience, and now they face a threat that cannot be ignored. We will see what they are truly made of." The first Skrull vessel fired a pulse of energy at the Endeavour. The human ship rocked violently. Alarms blared and sparks flew across the bridge. "Shields at 30%. Peter shouted. "If another hit comes, the hull will breach." Aaron gritted his teeth. "Hold steady. Focus on teamwork. That is how we survive." The human crew worked together quickly. Laura monitored energy waves and redirected shield power to the most vulnerable areas. Peter reinforced the hull where the girl's pulses struck. Dana coordinated structural repairs and ensured the crew stayed safe. The girl's ships pressed forward, relentless and powerful. Each attack tested the limits of the human ship. It would have been impossible for an untrained species to survive. Yet the crew adapted in real time. Aaron looked at the main screen and saw the Corthan scouts hovering nearby, observing. Lorik's presence was clear even without direct communication. Aaron spoke firmly. "We are humans. We adapt, we survive, and we do not abandon each other. Let's show them what that means." Laura nodded. "Shields stabilized, sir. We can hold a few more hits if we coordinate." Peter added, "Hull reinforced. Emergency patches ready. Dana, your systems are running perfectly. We can do this." The girl fired again, a massive pulse aimed directly at the Endeavour. This time, the human crew responded with precision. Shields redistributed power, engines adjusted trajectory, and the hull absorbed the energy without breaking. Lorik watched silently, his many eyes narrowing. They are not just surviving. They are countering. Most species would panic, retreat, or collapse. Humans, they fight back with skill and coordination. Aaron realized they could not defeat the girl alone. "We need help," he said aloud. He turned to the communication console. "Lorik, if you can hear us, we need your fleet. We cannot hold them off by ourselves." The Corthan commander considered for a moment, then nodded. "We will intervene, but you must work as one with us. Your methods are unfamiliar, but your courage is clear. Survive with us." The Corthan ships moved forward, their massive weapons firing at the girl. The combined forces of humans and Corthan struck the enemy simultaneously. The girl were powerful, but the coordination of two species working together proved more effective than either could have. "Imagine." Laura shouted. "They're breaking formation. Keep pressure on them." Peter and Dana worked furiously. Hull integrity remained strong, energy levels stable, and emergency systems ready. Aaron maneuvered the Endeavour, placing the ship in optimal positions to support the Corthan fleet while avoiding the girl's heavy fire. The battle raged on. Girl ships fired relentlessly, each strike threatening to destroy both human and Corthan vessels. Sparks flew across consoles, alarms screamed, and the void shook with energy blasts. Aaron's voice was steady, even as the ship shook. "Hold your positions. Focus on teamwork. Adapt and survive." Laura added, redirecting shields to the front. Peter, we can take a few more direct hits. Peter's hands flew over the controls. Hull reinforced. Energy levels stable. Dana, patch the minor breaches immediately. The Corthans were impressed. Lorax studied the humans closely. They act like us in some ways, but different. They survive not just with armor and weapons, but with thought, with coordination. This is unexpected. They are a true Deathworld species, but, different slowly, the combined forces began to overwhelm the Gruul. One by one, enemy ships were disabled, their weapons destroyed, and their formations broken. The Gruul, realizing they were losing, began to retreat. Aaron let out a deep breath. We did it. They are retreating. Laura smiled tiredly. We survived, and we learned a lot about their tactics. They were strong, but not as coordinated as us. Peter leaned back in his chair. Hull integrity holding. Shields stable. Systems intact. We survived because we worked together. That's our way. Dana looked out the viewport at the retreating Gruul ships. We faced real danger and didn't panic. That is what makes humans different. We adapt, survive, and protect each other. Lorex's voice came over the comms. Captain Aaron, your species has shown true strength. You faced a threat that would have destroyed most civilizations and survived. Your methods are unconventional, but effective. You have my respect. Aaron nodded. Thank you, Commander Lorek. We survived because we worked together. That is the strength of humanity. The Corthans withdrew their fleet after the battle, giving humans space to recover. The human crew repaired minor damage and reinforced their systems. But they were still filled with adrenaline. Captain, that was incredible, Laura said. We worked as a team, adapted, and survived a species stronger than us. This will change how others see us in the galaxy. Aaron looked at his team proudly. Yes, Laura, humans survive not because we are the strongest in the galaxy, but because we work together, we adapt, and we never give up. That is what makes us dangerous in ways others cannot predict. Peter nodded. We proved that today, not with weapons alone, but with coordination and courage. That is the true human strength. Dana added quietly, and the Corthans saw it too. They will never look at us the same way again. Lorik watched the Endeavor from his cruiser, thinking the humans had survived a battle that even the strongest Corthan warriors would have struggled against. They were different from anything he had ever known. Their strength was not just physical or technological. It was in their unity, their courage, and their ability to adapt. He spoke quietly to himself. This species, they are not weak. They are Deathworlders in a way I did not understand. Perhaps they can teach us something we have forgotten. As the human ship continued its journey through the void, the crew reflected on what they had faced. The battle with the Gruul was more than a fight for survival. It was a lesson. Humanity had shown that even in the face of overwhelming danger, they could endure. They could work together, protect each other, and overcome impossible odds. Aaron looked at the stars. This is only the beginning. The galaxy is full of dangers, but we have proven that humans can survive. And when others see our way, they will understand a different kind of strength. One that cannot be measured by weapons alone. Laura smiled. We faced the strongest predators in this sector and lived. That is something no one can take away from us. Peter added, we did not just survive. We adapted, we fought, and we worked together. That is what makes us strong. Dana looked out the viewport, watching the stars pass. And the Corthans are learning too. They saw our courage, our teamwork, our adaptability. Perhaps we can change their view of the galaxy as well. Aaron nodded. We survived today, but the galaxy will keep testing us. And we will endure. That is what humanity does. The Endeavor sailed on, battered but unbroken, through the endless expanse of space. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of dangers and mysteries yet to be faced. But for the first time, the humans knew something important. They were not alone in their strength. Somewhere across the void, the Corthans observed quietly, learning from humans. The strongest Deathworld species in the galaxy had encountered humanity, and they had been changed forever. The journey was far from over, but humanity had proven one undeniable truth: survival, adaptability, and cooperation were weapons stronger than any cannon. And in the cold, dangerous void of space, that strength would shine brighter than any star.